All right, let's do a niche update. This is my first niche update. A couple of months ago, I said to you guys, hey, I'm gonna start testing out some new niches because for the last couple of years, every year I've kind of had my bread and butter niche. Going back to 2020, tree service. I had a couple deals in other niches, but tree service was the niche, right? 2021, artificial grass, made a killing in artificial grass. 2022, yep, you guessed it, concrete. So now I'm sitting here and a couple months ago, I'm like, hey, I got to figure out what's that niche going to be for 2023? Is it going to continue to be concrete? Is it going to be, one of these other ones I'm going to recycle back, or is it going to be something new? And just to remind everybody, here's what I like to do with trying out new niches. If you're someone new to this channel or you're just discovering me and you're like, dude, this guy is screaming a lot. That's just what I do. But what I like to do is I don't like to spend my own money, okay? I think you should know that about me, and you should be the same. I don't like to spend my own money. So here's what I do is I look at when people ask me, hey, can you get me leads in XYZ niche that I've never done? I look at that as an opportunity. So let me give you an example, okay? And today we're gonna talk about excavation, okay? Because this is one that I've been testing. If I get a referral or I have a friend or I have somebody that reaches out to me, it's an inbound warm lead, and they say to me, hey, can you get me excavation leads? Can you get my friend carpentry leads? Can you get whatever, right? Instead of just saying, hey, I don't do that, I run it through my process. I say, okay, does the niche work? Is it high ticket or super high margin, okay? And I just go down the list. Does the niche fit? Okay, awesome. And then I go, all right, does the city fit? I'm like, okay, what cities could I get you leads in that you would accept, that you would be happy with? Okay, you're in Vegas, but would you take leads in Henderson? Would you take leads in whatever, right? Or you're in Nashville, how far are you willing to drive? Will you go all the way to Lebanon? Will you go to Hendersonville? Will you go to down to Murfreesboro? Will you go all the way to Clarksville? Now we got something to work with. So I ask that, and I do my homework. I do all my homework up front. And I figure out how far they're willing to go. And now I go find a city that works, a city that I know I'm going to be able, it's got the cost per click, it's got all the metrics, right? And I go to them and I say, look, I can do this, I can get you leads, but I've got to be candid with you. I got to let you know, I've never done this in this niche. Okay, I haven't. And I'm telling you that up front because even though, I know you and I like you, or you were referred, I just want to be honest with you. And I don't know what specifically is going to happen. This is what I think is going to happen. And I'll say, here's what I've done in concrete and tree service and whatever, and your buddy's this, and it's worked like a charm. But there is a chance because I don't know that's going to flop. And I let them know that up front because I don't want anything bad coming out my name. But if they're like, yeah, I get it, but they still want to do it, then what I do is I say, okay, so let's do this. Let's do a deal. And I typically, with these type of niches, I only do a 3-month deal. Why? Because if it's 3 months and it just sucks, I want to be able to cancel it because I don't want to look bad. I don't want to take money from them if it sucks. And also, maybe it's just not something I want to do. I get into it, I'm like, this just isn't good. This is not a good niche, right? So I typically, with brand new niches, I do 3-month contracts, okay? Now, if it's a weird time of year, if I'm doing one right now, it's December, I got December, January, February, I'm gonna do a 6-month because I want to see what it does in the winter, I want to see what it does in the spring, okay? But if it's the summer or the spring, whatever, I'll probably do a 3-month. And I'll just see how it goes, okay? And I'll let the business owner know, I'm like, hey, this is what should happen, but this is what could happen. So a couple months ago, I had a guy, he got referred to me, and it was another client of mine. He said, hey, my buddy, he does excavation. Can you get him leads? And I did exactly what I said. And the criteria fit. It's a phone-driven business. There's no storefront, yada, yada, yada. There's no brand, all that stuff. So everything worked. Did the homework, looked like it was low competition, low C, everything worked perfect, okay? And I went and I told him, and I said, look, here's what's going to happen. And we just did a 3-month deal, and I'm here to give you my findings. So let me give you the bad news first. Bad news is we just ended our agreement and we're not renewing it, okay? We did a 3-month agreement and we are not renewing. I think we did a 3-month agreement. Now, I could be crazy because as I'm saying that, it seems like it was longer ago. Maybe we did a 6 on this one, but I could be crazy. I think it was just 3. But needless to say, we just ended the agreement. He did not re-sign and we did not push, okay? So that's the bad news. The good positive news is we got a lot of leads, relative to where we actually were generating the leads and the months of the year that we were doing it and all the stuff that's been happening. I was very impressed, very happy with how many leads we generated. So that was really positive, okay? But at the end of the day, in order for us to grow, in order for me to keep justifying like going into that niche, I have to get, clients have to be happy. And as we dove in and we didn't push, because again, it's kind of weird when you know somebody and it's a referral and you're like, okay, whatever. But we dug in and the issue came down, and this is what I always say, guys. If a client does not make money from your leads, they will cancel, period. It doesn't matter if it's your fault. It doesn't matter if it's their fault. They will cancel, and unfortunately, they're going to not want to blame themselves. And what it ultimately came down to is this individual just didn't close jobs. Like, that's it. Like, we were giving them leads. These were not crappy leads. I'm not saying all of them were, massive, whatever, but some of them were, and this person didn't have the equipment. This person didn't have the bandwidth to get to some of these massive jobs that could have made a lot of money. This person also wasn't aggressive to close some of the jobs that they should have closed. And at the same time, some of them were tire kickers. Okay, so we have to take some of the blame as well. As of right now, where I stand is I am not so confident that I'm going to go build 5 more sites. Absolutely not. But I saw enough. I'm confident enough, and I'm excited enough by how many leads we got and the quality of those leads, especially especially considering the time of year and the town we generated them in, that I'm not just getting rid of this site. So what we're going to do, and this is our game plan, is this. We are going to go get another client, because here's like ultimately what this boils down to. I personally, this is my intuition telling me, I believe the niche is pretty decent. I don't know if it's going to be a concrete or a banger like tree service or whatever, or insulation. However, it's good enough that I'm not giving up on it. And so we are going to go and find another client. And my intuition's telling me we just got the wrong guy. Okay. And the hard part about it is when you do what I do, which is I use these referrals as opportunities to test out new niches. Sometimes the referrals don't know how to close. Sometimes the referrals aren't hungry. And it was kind of a weird situation. This person, they weren't doing it, like they were kind of transitioning. It was a new business owner, soft-spoken individual. Isn't bad, but like not the type that's going to go and shake things up to get a deal. I think we got the wrong guy. I think we got the wrong business, the wrong guy, brand new business, not super hungry, things are going whatever. And I think they're just looking at it going, I don't know, man, like what's going to happen in the world, instead of like, hey, we're going to make this work. And so I think we got the wrong guy. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go find the right guy. We're going to go find the right girl. We're going to go find the right company, and we're going to run this puppy. We're going to run this for 6 months. Now I have enough data. Now I have enough confidence that we're running this for 6 months, and we're going to make sure we get somebody that can close, somebody that's hungry, somebody that's not doing this part-time or just starting a business, somebody that's ready to freaking make it happen. And I'm going to run this for 6 more months. And I would guess within the next 90 days, I'll have a pretty good idea of if I can come to you guys confidently and say, hey, you should go into this niche, okay? As of right now, I'm indifferent, but I'm leaning towards, I like it, but I'm not so much that I'm like, hey, that's the niche for 2023, if that makes sense. So it's one of those, it's a niche I'm going to continue to explore, but it's not one I'm like, yo, stop everything you're doing, go into it, okay? So that is my niche update for excavation. Just so you know, we also have another niche that we're running right now, which is awnings and whatever, like patio covers. And I think that we had one other one, but it's slipping my mind right now. So when I remember, I'll try to do this. But guys, that's the niche update for excavation. Take it or leave it. That's my findings, and we'll talk soon.